other coder, please give this video an emperor's thumbs up, toll the bell and subscribe, because today we are going to create our first table in PostgreSQL. Alright, so this is an example of how the query to create the table gonna look like. So we have the command create table followed by the name of the table, and inside the brackets we have column names, their data types and constraints if we have any. So imagine we're gonna create a table called employee with ID, first name, last name, gender, email and date of birth for our example. Let's switch to our shell and get it done. So we're going to type create table followed by the name of the table, in our case it's employee, and inside the brackets we're going to put ID of type big serial, which is essentially going to be a self-incrementing integer, then followed by the first name, which is going to be of type varchar, which stands for variable character, and the maximum length is going to be 50. Then it's going to be followed by the last name, varchar again, and 50. Next one is going to be gender, which is varchar as well, and for now we will leave it to 50. However, we don't need that many. So email, varchar again, and we make it 150 to make sure it will accommodate any reasonable size email. And finally, date of birth of the type date. We'll finish it off with a semicolon. And as you can see, we have a success message. Create table means table is created. Put \d to see that the employee table has been created. And this is the big serial, which I was talking about earlier and which we're going to study in depth a bit later in this course. But essentially it means it will increment automatically without us needing to do anything. All right. Let's have a look how our table looks like. We are typing \d followed by the name employee. In here we can see all columns, all types, and this is a flat example of how the table might look like. In the last video we didn't drop any tables, but I'm kind of itching to do that, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna drop employee and I will create a new table from scratch. Success message, drop table, \d with the name employee returns nothing. It cannot find a table with such a name. It can't find any tables, to be honest. But here we have an example of the table we want to create. As you can notice, I've added some constraints, not null, to the columns, and I've added a primary key to be an ID. And I've also reduced the maximum number of characters for gender to 6, since it's more practical. Alright, so let's have some more hands-on practice and let's create a new table. So once again we put create table followed by the name employee, and inside the brackets we're going to put down ID of type big serial, not null, and it's going to be our primary key, and we'll study primary keys in depth in coming videos. Following is the first name of type varchar with a maximum number of characters restricted to 50, it's not null. Then the last name varchar 50, not null, followed by gender, varchar, this time it's 6, and it's going to be not null. After that we have email, varchar of 150, and we're going to accept that not all of our employees might have an email, especially when they just started and not been given one. So next we're going to put date of birth of type date, not null, and that is it. We're going to create the table \d followed by nothing, so we can see all available tables. As we can see, employee and then big serial sequence, put \d employee, and we can see what is inside our employee table. So as we can see, we now have the fourth column almost full with the constraints. This time it's not null. As well as at the very bottom we can see employee primary key for ID. Alright. This is basically how you create tables with a pure SQL. So please give this video Emperor's thumbs up, toll the bell and subscribe, because in the next lesson we're going to be populating our table with data we can practice on. And we can learn how to do this using the pure SQL as well as the web service called Mockaroo. That was V. Thank you and goodbye.